Hi, Arlene. How are you? I'm just kind of here because this is a new thing, so we're getting used to the newness and the change of the things that. Oh, you got your brace. Good, good. How does it feel? I am taking off my polish that I put on during Tuesday because life has been a little nutty. So I never stopped long enough to take off those examples of the polish that I did. Oh, good, good, good. Okay. So I don't know if you want to, if it's okay that I repeat that for the live for the other people to see the comments. So that's gonna be an answer, a question I'm gonna ask everyone that in going forward in the future. Certain things you want to answer to me, but then other things, but then the person that hears me ask the question is going to be um, wanting to know the answer as well. So, hi, Mrs. D. Happy chimichangas and greetings to you. Okay, so Erlene basically had a boo boo and injured her hand, arm, wrist, something in that on her, I believe, non-dominant hand or her dominant hand. I forgot which. And finally saw the specialist. Is in a brace. Is feeling better. Doesn't have to have surgery. We'll be seeing the specialist in 4 weeks, and we're going, yay! We're so happy. And she said it was okay for me to share. Dominant hand. Oh yeah, that's fun. See, I have it a little easier because my right hand was my dominant hand, but I injured it with when I was very very young, and took over with the left hand. So now I'm ambidextrous for the most part, but I do odd things. There's some things I can only do with my right, and others I can only do with my left, and then everything else is like both. And every time I'm doing things with certain tools that the hubster comes in and that looks so odd. And it's like, because you're looking at it backwards. But that's what men do. Or, I guess it's the viewpoint of, other people. Because he's so used to doing things the way that he learned how to do it. So I'm an enigma to him. I guess. So did we eat today? This is a reminder that I have to figure out for myself to figure. I mean, there's medications in food, and some are on an empty stomach, some are with food, some are not with food, and so it's kind of one of those things where on a regular basis it's kind of like I got to remember to eat, I got to remember to take the pills, and that's not when you're home alone and you don't have a lot of the normal clues and cues that would happen in a day when you're around other people, you tend to get lost in your lostness of things. So I have to have reminders, and then I have to go take care of things, and I can get caught up in doing my nails or working on projects or just the normal cleaning of things that you go, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it took me 2 hours to do all the things I normally do. Today I'm not feeling it, so I was, taking my time. And then there are other days where I get 900 interruptions from the neighbors upstairs doing weird things, or the dog decides she doesn't like what she heard outside, or the neighbors are doing something, and then there's always something going on. So it's like, or the hubster calls because he's got issues, or other people call based on other things, and then you kind of go, oh my gosh, where'd my day go, because you spent all this time dealing with other things. Oh, leftover enchiladas for lunch. You'll be doing something with chicken, not sure what yet, but I know it's chicken. Oh, I was looking up recipes. That's so funny. Because I was getting notifications of various recipes, and oddly enough, I'm just doing my nails here while we chat before I get started on things. Because I really don't have anything unless there's something anybody specifically wants to see. But I know someone last Tuesday asked for foil, so I have those and other things that I was going to get ready to do. But I forgot that I did not take off my polish from Tuesday, so I'm redoing my nails for that because, well, I needed to do that because they were kind of all mismatched and whatnot. So we're just going to do a quick... No. I said no. Do you want me to get the broom? She doesn't like when I sweep with the broom, and it's not even a broom. It's more of a gizmo that you have a mop pad, but you can sweep with. It's multi versions of things, and so she doesn't like when I use it, and when I get it, because she decides she wants to be noisy and bark in the background or something, then we go, we'll do this, and she doesn't like it. So then she stops, and then there we go. You be quiet while I'm working. I'm working over here. I'm working on my nails. No, but I was looking at the suggestions for recipes, and you could do a version of chicken a la king, which is sour cream and or something of that nature, and chicken bouillon and various things. And then there's another one that I saw for potatoes that is chicken bouillon or something of your favoriteness of things. And there's one that's sour cream, potatoes, onions, and your other spices that it popped up. But basically the recipe was on allrecipes.com. And then the other one was for this famous restaurant that had chicken in it. I thought, hey, those are kind of cool. I'm going to save those. Because there's only like 3 ingredients, and a couple of them you didn't have to put, it was just potatoes and onions and various, inexpensive ingredients. And there was one I was going, well, I could put chicken in that, or you could put beef in that, or you could pretty much do whatever the heck you wanted with that, Recipes are meant to be, in my opinion, take it for what it's worth. Recipes are a starting point. And there are certain items and certain things for certain recipes that, yes, you've got to use the exact ingredients or it won't hold together to do what it is you're trying to do. But generally speaking, you can intermix other things. Like if there's a veggie like broccoli or mushrooms that you don't like, and then you can take those out and substitute them with something else. Hi, Kaka? Amir? Are you... Okay, I don't recognize Amir, and I hope you're being serious, because I really don't want to have to... I mean... If you're here just to be a pain in the butt... Okay. I don't know if that's the right one or not, but there you go. And gone. Okay. You were saying some things that using a word that is not okay. And the thing is that I'm just here to do nails and chat nicely, and I reported you because I don't like what I saw. So if you're still here and you want to continue on with the things that you were doing, I don't know if it's a language thing or what the deal is. This is not a meetup for ladies. I don't mean to be insensitive or cruel or mean or make a judgment here, but the name Amir to me seems like it's a man. And if you're not here for nail art and to be polite, I'm going to figure out a way to be blocking people. I will not, in my lives, deal with people who want to do foolishness. Okay, I'm not the person to be asking that question to. I'm here to do fingernail art polish. If you want to watch and be quiet in the things, then, that's fine if you want to watch. But if you want to disrupt the live and be rude, and I'm saying you're being rude because if you don't know what that is, you have other people to ask, not a woman from the United States doing fingernail art and stuff like that. So please either exit or don't do that. I accept your apology. You can watch and be friendly or go away, or I will send you away. And that's my first and only. I'm not answering any more questions at the moment because I'm gonna get upset, and me being upset is not a good thing. Not a good thing in a long ways. Where was I? I went back to your comment, D, and thank you for that. I tapped on it, but my phone's in the holder, so it's not easy. But I know what I need to do before the next one is I need to take some other steps in the background, and I'll be doing that as soon as this is over with. So there's that. I tapped on it. I did a few things. I don't know what it did. I thought I blocked, but obviously I didn't see the right things. But yeah, whatever your fresh meals, I understand those lazy nights. We have our go-tos that, where we live and have things be close that is that it's kind of like, I'm not cooking, figure something out. And so there you go. Tonight is a leftover cleaning out the fridge, throw it in a pot, and then you end up with what you end up kind of night. That's what we're having, is you figure out what you got, what you can mix together, what needs to either get thrown out or used, and then it goes into something that becomes whatever you can deal with that. Missy, I know they're outside. I know you hear them. No, good. Thank you. Now shush. They're gonna go away. Just give them a minute. Protective little doggy woggy. Yeah, that's the plan. I will be. I did report. I don't know what I checked because I couldn't read all the options. So hey, it just went for not behaving. And then like I said, I tried to do something else and I don't know what I hit, but we'll figure it out for the future. I have options. Yeah, leftover soup or stew. Hubster's family had a name for that. I don't remember what, but they would throw everything in. Oh, Miss Thing over there, she's growling at her toys. She's not happy. She's playing. She does what she does, and when she plays happy, sometimes she gets to where she's like really vicious, and she shakes them with her teeth and growls at them, barks at them. I feel sorry if anybody decides they want to come through the door that doesn't belong, because I think she will shred them. Yeah, I've heard mulligan stew, but what they call it, I'm not going to repeat because it's kind of I don't know where they got the name. I don't know. It was just something their dad did, and I don't know where he came up with it, but what he calls it kind of sounds like something not polite to say about other people, and I don't want to make that mistake of saying I don't know if it was. It's not Polish. I'll figure it out. Eventually. It was just, he's first. Really? Okay, I know. Be quiet. Broom? You know what I mean. It was just one of these names I kind of went, I don't know about that. Anyway. Oh, don't you love dogs when they're a neurotic mess? Lucky you. Doggy's been quiet. Yeah, no, mine is just one of these. She's a Chihuahua, and she thinks that she's one of the big dogs. She thinks, I mean, my God, she has the biggest attitude. I swear. What are you staring at? Okay. You be good girl. Oh my goodness. Goodness, dog. Goodness. Anyway, so yeah, she's has her moments, which at the time right now that the upstairs neighbor's kid is running around. We have new neighbors. They just moved in a couple days ago, and they don't know how to sit still at all. Okay, what color? Oops. So yeah, like I said, I'm thinking the gold because I got double of that. You know what? I'm gonna grab my other scissors. And I realized I had not used foil in such a long time, and then I started using it again, and I'm like going, what do I need to do on this to be able to do things and I was trying to do them in a video, and I did it right the first time, but when I was doing a video to explain for the project I had been working on, I had it backwards. It's like ding, 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 ding. So, needless to say, there's that. So, I'm just going to sit this out on the back side over there. And the way you figure out how to use this is the side that you see it on. Help me, D, if I make a mistake in the chats. The side that you see, this is the color, this is what it will look like, and this is the side you stamp. So, are these still? No. And then you use your, let's see if we do this right. You would do this properly. Do it correctly. Right is a direction or a response. Behavior is proper. Oh, I had a English great grandmother. She was a proper lady. Okay. And I've been away from that for so many years, so many decades. Every now and then my street comes out more than my proper English ladyhood. So we're going to lay it down. Get all nice and happy. Some even say you can use your stamper to kind of go over and make sure it's all nice and mushy in your thing. And then you gently pull. I didn't wait long enough. It was too wet. And I mussed it up. Oh, when Dev and Tiana talk about that impatience level, oh, I think I have them beat. I have patience for things I have to have patience for. And everything else with nail art, I don't. You lay it down. I'm doing a different area. And then it comes off. The problem is, you got to have enough sticky. That's not the sticky. Where's the sticky? Right in front of me. You've got to have enough of the sticky to stay sticky long enough to get it all. I know these things, and then I get to doing other things, and then my brain gets foggy, and then I go, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Because again, I'm not an expert. I'm just really good at what I do. And one of them is the ability to teach. And I'm kind of good at that. So we have done the foils. And I don't remember who was asking. I forgot to write that down or take a screenshot or something. So there's that. But if you see this later on and you have more questions, or I didn't completely explain something to your full understanding, then leave it in the comments and I will add more details in another live. Dee, did you see the out of the newest plates, of the 4 newest plates that I did, There was the one at the midnight ball, I think it is, with the dancing people. Yes, the biggest mistake is that people are using the wrong side. And then they give up. And then Maniology does still glue. Yes, they did the ball one. And then they did, there was the one with the stars, there was the one with the lightning, and the one with the dragon. And which one do you think of those four that my channel got the most views of my videos of those four plates? Because I'm going to tell you, I thought it would have been the dragon one. And it was not has not been the number one viewed at this point. I'm just floored. This is why I keep going, people tell me what you want to see. Because I'm looking at the stuff that gets views, and the things that I think are cute that would get all kinds of views are the bizarre things that gets hardly anything that people are watching. And then the things that I did not anticipate blow up. It is... Yeah, the princess ball, the princess dancing was the number one so far. The lightning, trying to go back through. The princess ball and the stars got the most. And then the dragon, and then the princess ball and the stars. And then the dragon, and then the lightning. This is wild. Wild. So basically, if you want the whole nail covered, we'll turn on some light. Because I don't have the light on because it wears the battery down and then it kills my phone. And then you kind of just got to keep sticking at it. And if it's dry and not sticky, then just very lightly, just, use the bare bones minimum of your sticky polish. Basically wipe it off so that you don't have a whole globs on there. You need it really, really thin, where it's just the lowest amount on there, and then just kind of keep dabbing it in the areas, and then keep going back if you want full coverage. If you just want a... Poppy! Oh, she's mad. They got way too close to the door. Yes, baby, thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good girl, thank you. That's enough. I got it. I got it. Oh, Lord, love a duck. Oh, God, she nearly gave me a heart attack. Wow. So we'll stick that one off to this side. Put the scissors. We don't hurt ourselves because I'll jab myself. I do the weirdest thing. Yeah, we all love the fairy tale, and I think probably that's why. The dragon plate has been, and I saw something that Maniology put out on that they did not expect the dragon plate to sell out, and it sold out like within one day. And then they got it back in again, and it sold out again. But what I can say is go to the website and click the notify me. And it'll be back again, because at this point it is so popular that why would they not? Because it's not a Mani by Me edition, so they're just going to keep, as long as there's interest in it, they're going to keep going for it. So there was that one. Wow, that didn't take much time at all. Yeah. But yeah, just keep it. Actually, just, I don't know. I was going to say go put it in your cart, but I just realized it won't let you until it's back available. It's one of those things that you're going to have to turn into a stalker. I'm just. And for ones, that's kind of what I had to do. I just kind of kept watching, and I just kept throwing money aside to go. I'm getting that plate as soon as it's available. And then yeah, I was able to get all 4 of those ones, and man, it just, like I said, shocked the stuffing out of me how. And then I go to grab my stack, and I found my block plate. I was talking about this one for the whole of the live last time, and then there it was. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh goody, I went through this because there's my other missing plate scrapers. Hey, we're just I did not clean up. Bad me. There was doing that live Tuesday was a lot. I was so shocked we went for 2 hours. I think maybe an hour more if there's people willing, but I'll probably just do like another 30 minutes because I know Dee's got to go. And yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that's the bloom plate. There's the dragon plate. There's the lightning. Where do I have the ball? I don't have that one. I didn't grab that one. Doggone it. That's the one I wanted to just do right now, but okay. I messed that one up, so there's that idea. Because I was looking for them and I thought they were in this stack. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Okay. The one thing I noticed, and since, hi, Four, how you doing? Yeah, I know. I miss doing my nails like I used to as well. I have not had near as much time to be able to do my nails. So, I did play with this one a little bit. And one of the things I noticed is that I was having, I'm going to do a different shade. Sorry, brain is going in 5 different directions at the moment. I need to prep this so I could explain what I was going to explain. Yeah, doing live art nail content and creation, like the ladies say, there's a lot of work to it. They're nail tech people, and they are trying to stay ahead of all the trends. And I can just kind of come on here and for the moment until I get things down, I can kind of freewheel it. For them, there's a higher standard. So I get and understand why they have chosen to do things the way that they did. Yeah, there's a bunch of ones that all came out, and I'm kind of going, I still have plates that I have bought last year that I still have to take the blue stuff off of because I've been so involved in so many things going on. I have not used them yet. So I'm only buying ones that I really like. I mean, like love, like I can't live without that plate kind of thing. So my purchases are going to be a lot limited for a little while. Yeah, I can't do that as much. And being that I'm going to be doing lives, and I now want to come up with some things, and there's some plans that I said I wanted to do. And so, going to kind of do that. But this one, if you got this plate, or when you get this plate and you want to use this particular image that has a lot of the negative space, this one is a tricky one. And I don't know, we'll do it that way. Maybe you can see it better. I don't know, is that a better view of it? So it's this image that I'm talking about. And because it has so much negative space and the images there are raised, this one you have to do a lot different than the other plates. Because most of the other plates you put more than what you need. You put a little bit of extra polish on it, but you don't want to over flood it. And then you scrape across and do what you do. Let me make sure I have a stamper ready to go. But this one, you need to use a lot more. So normally I would scrape some of that off, but you're going to put that down and then you're going to want to get more. This one, you need to use an overabundance of polish. Now, I have not done it since I played with it and since I got the new instructions. So we're going to see if this makes a difference on this. So you basically, it's not even the weight of the card. It is just a bare minimum. I can see that there's more than enough polish on there in what I did, so that I was going through that scraping off so that now I can actually see the images there. And then we're going to try this to see if I got it, if what the instructions were are going to make a difference. Yeah. I didn't get a great pickup, but I got a pretty good pickup. And so then you're going to line it up and go across. So you have to use an extraordinary extra amount to make sure you're almost flooding it. Almost. Not quite, but yikes. Stop falling. Oh, it'd help if I put it in a, gotta find a, so there's that one on that one. That's what I learned on the ones. And there's another one that is the chocolate plate that came out last year. It's got another, it's the same thing. So if you see these ones that have this type of etching, extra polish. Extra polish. I was going to grab my other cleaning things and stuff, and then I looked at the time and my alarms went off and it was 4 o'clock and I'm like, gotta get on board. Okay, so what was I gonna do with, that's right. So I'm going to squeeze that up because I got a little bit in where I didn't want it to do. And I have, I keep seeing these designs and I'm going, okay, I kind of wanted to recreate them, but it requires gel polish and curing. So I'm kind of going, and it's the cat eye style. And then I was thinking, okay, well, maybe if I could if I could do it another way. And then I saw somebody else go, here's how you do it. And I went, I was on board with that. And so what they did, I went, okay, all right. So basically my thinking was not too far off the mark. So I'm kind of adding my spin of what I thought I could do. Similar to what other designs and things, Maniology did videos similar to this. I'm sorry, I'm out of frame. I need to get me something like they do on TV, you know, for the actors to know where to hit their mark. Because I need to do something where I'm filming and kind of have it so that, okay, what can you see? And then I have, you know, an outline of stuff on my tray so that then I can go, okay, gotta be within this segment for y'all to see what I'm doing. So essentially what I did is I used the sponge on different sides and I added the different colors to kind of get more of a cat eye illusion. So I started with this one, which was Emerald City. And then I did the Saracito Sage in the middle with the sponge in the big part. And then I added the Curious Matter over those two. And then I did one in a melon in the center and added more of the sparkle over that. And then I used, where'd it go? I just had it. Good grief. And then I did the spearmint for the dragon picture. So these are the ones I did in order. Kind of, sort of. And then we got that. And this was just me playing around. I really wasn't, you know, accurate on it, but gives you an idea of kind of, sort of, without having to use gel and a curing light and all that goes along with that. You can kind of sort of create the illusion of things. Woo! Fun. Yeah, I know. Dee's just laughing at me because, you know, I'm a hot mess. Big old hot mess. I need to do more. I need to paint them more again. I just did the one coat. What am I doing? I'm on it? Okay. Thanks. Good to know. Because most of the time, I just feel like I am winging it on a prayer and a win and the you know the angels and guardians and whoever are looking out for me. And my goodness, that if I did not have guardian angels, I'd have probably mm, um you know I have my days where I think thank goodness, because heaven forbid someone was definitely looking out for me that day, because I don't know how else I would have like made it through, because hello. I mean, if I were a cat with 9 lives, I think I've already used 4. So, because the there was as a baby, then my chin, um, and and then no, closer to 6 or 7. Okay, I'm a cat with 100 lives. Okay, not 9, 100. Because I've already gone through a lot. That at this point, I still got another 100 years to go through. So, more no, yeah, 90 something. Because I keep saying I want to live to 150, because at this point I am due that hoverboard. I want the hoverboard. I want the things they promised us, like the from Star Trek. I want to be here for the to see the transporters of things. I mean, we already have the communication devices with like the cell phones and whatnot, but at this point, I want the other goodies. Aw, thank you, Dee. To just go for it and to discover new things. I like being the inspiration. Thank you, thank you. It's just polish. I know. I know. It's just polish. That did not come out the way I thought it would. Did not. I thought doing that in the background that it would show up more. I didn't do enough details on that. So I'm going to just go for it. And I didn't wipe that off before I dunked back in, because I scraped it off. So I knew if there was anything in there that was going to be messy or whatever. There we are. I'm going to do that and give it a minute. Hi, Martha. How you doing? You made it. Yay. I don't know, on my last live I did for Tuesday, I don't understand the YouTube things sort of yet well enough to, as a content creator. If I from my recording process. If I go through and I upload the video, I can make it public right away. I can make it unlisted so that it's there and viewable, but nobody gets an announcement. Or I can schedule it to be available at a future date and time. So there's all these different ways that it goes through, and it takes the process differently depending on the length. The longer that the video, the longer it takes to upload. And my internet situation is different here, so that helps it to move it along a little bit faster. But generally speaking, I can get my videos available fairly quickly. Though if I'm doing a live, not so much. It's got a process, and it basically doesn't even register anywhere that it's in the, it just says it's processing. It's in my site, and I can see that there is something there, but it's like a ghost. It's just not really. And I kept checking it for a while after the Tuesday, and it was not there. It was still processing hours and hours later, but I could go from a different device and it was there and viewable. So I don't know what it was doing on my end. I don't know how soon you guys can see on the replay of things. So I got to go figure out how that is. Now, I also know that if, because like Maniologies is set up that it's available right after they're done. It's like literally available. So I don't know if that's because they have it scheduled in the future. So I'm going to do some testing in the next couple of days to try and figure out what I need to tap on or the settings to get it so that it is immediately viewable. I'm glad you're doing good, Martha. I'm better. I'm feeling better today. I'm feeling a lot better than I did the other day and the other days before that. I still don't feel 100% up to par, but I think that had to do with whatever I had in November, and the weather hasn't been, and I think a lot of it too is me emotionally. Sorry, I needed to hydrate. Me emotionally on some things, I'm kind of, I personally am feeling some things going on, and when I feel those things going on, it's a struggle. So I think it has a lot to do with it. Hi, Nana, how you doing? You weren't here earlier. Were you the one that was asking about the foil, asking how to do the how to use? Yeah, it was brutal. I don't know what it was. Yeah, Tuesday. I think Nana, that was you. No? Okay. Someone was asking how to use the foil, and I did the demo at that. I was just going to say, okay, you could rewind. And that was my whole, why I was saying about the spiel, about people being able to go back and find my videos. So if at some point in time, in the next, if you have time and the availability, go back and check. I will put this to be, available, and, just type in the comments that you can see when from the time that we're done. I started this at 4. No, it wasn't Lisa. Lisa was asking about, on a different video, she was asking how to do lines. She asked me in a comment. So I was doing that on Tuesday to show how you can get straight lines if you're having difficulties with that. It was someone I don't remember the name. It was a new person to me. And that's okay. New people are welcome. We appreciate the newness of the newbies. I just have to figure out who that was. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind, if it pops up in your settings or something and you notice that it's that this live is suddenly available, and you can come over into the comments and go, hey, at such and such time, I saw that it was available. That would greatly help me out, and I would very much love and appreciate whoever is able to do that for me. So thank you. Cleany, cleany, cleany. Yes, clean your tools when you're done. Clean as you go along. Do as I suggest, because, you know, I'm not telling you how to do it or that you have to. I'm just saying, you know, it's a lot easier if you clean as you go. Because I've got this spot I've been trying to clean off for 2 weeks because I didn't realize that I didn't clean it off. And I don't know what it is. It's stuck. Oh, hey, it's finally coming. It's finally coming. Maybe because I had it. I don't know. But I've been working on this. I got it finally. Oh my gosh. You have no idea how good that feels to get that cleaned off. I'm telling you. I now have mini me minions who are asking the question, did you eat? I did eat. I made homemade basically it was the tortilla and beef, because Hester got a bunch of packages of ground beef, and I cooked up a bunch just to have ready for me, so that it was available if I was hungry, and all I had to do was go heat it up. So I cooked the ground beef and made it all nice and happy, and then I added all the extra seasonings that I felt like adding for that moment, and then I put the tortilla in. It was the burrito size. I put the tortilla in, and I folded it in half. I folded it again, and I let it cook on that side. I flipped it over and let it cook on that side. I flipped it completely over so it cooked on the other side. And then I opened it up and flipped it over and cooked it the same way on the other side. And then when I was all done, I put my cheese and everything in the middle of the tortilla in my bowl, or put in the skillet, put all the ingredients I wanted to put in that. So it was the cheese and the sauces and everything. And then I picked that up and put that in my bowl. And then I was able to put the meat on top and then fold it up. Bye, Dee. Thanks for coming. See, I knew she was going to have to leave early because she got to go do dinner. Hope you have a good chicken evening of things. Yeah, when you get something on there, and if you don't clean it like right away, and then it sits for like a week or more, then you're just struggling with the doggone getting this stuff off of it. And I don't know if you can tell, but this red image on this was all the way on the card, and I have used this. I like this one the best. I obviously, you can tell, I've used this one so much and cleaned it off so much, I've completely wiped off the design on the scraper. That's just so. And I don't remember. I want to say this was like the summer set from last year, and it is thicker than the clear one that comes with the when you buy a scraper and stamper set. This one is thicker, but it's thinner than these ones. These ones are harder, and I make more of the scraping mistakes. This one is so thin, it's more flexible, and I can get less scratchy. Oh yeah, and the ones I was using was flour tortillas. I like flour tortillas for homemade. The things I make homemade, I like the flour tortillas better than the corn ones. But there's a couple of local restaurants that make birria. Birria. It's the they don't. I want to say it's supposed to be goat, but because the goat don't smell so good when it gets cooked, a lot of places have here, I'm told, use beef instead. So they do the same process, and you get the along with the taco, you get what they call consomme. It's the broth that they cook the meat in. And so they fry up the tortilla, and it's a corn tortilla, and they put all the stuff in it. And then you get that tortilla, and it's all kind of gooey together because it's all nice and yum. And then you dunk that in to eat the taco. Smoked pork loin and Brussels. Wow, Nana, that was adventurous. She wasn't sure what she was gonna cook. She said earlier that she had no idea. It was a lazy night and it was probably gonna be chicken. But then she also said she had the fresh. I don't know what the pre it was a pre the pre done stuff that then you cook it. You order um the meals. I don't remember what brand it was, but she said one way or another it was gonna be a chicken night. Tuna fish salad with whole wheat crackers and a garden salad. Hey Martha, you're doing better than I am. I was not working on healthy. I was doing on put something in the tummy so that it doesn't have the grumblies and be mad. It was like, what can I do fast and quick? And dinner tonight when Hubster gets home, because it's gonna be a late night for him. It's gonna be I'm gonna put the things I have in the refrigerator because I have several leftover things that need to be eaten or thrown out. So today's the point of no return. So it's all going to go in a pot, and then I'm going to figure out what kind of other things to add to it. So it's going to be mystery stew for dinner. Yeah, I'm with Martha. The pork would be okay, but I don't do a whole lot of pork. I barely do bacon. I am not a fan of the other white meat all that much. And I definitely don't like Brussels. Yes, I should be eating healthy because of potentially having heart problems and I'm bad about that. But I do use the good oils. So, there's that. And the cheese I had was on my thing was on my taco burrito, whatever you want to call it, a mess. Was Parmesan and ricotta. Oh yeah, but to see the thing with having diabetes and the carbs, there are good carbs. And the problem is that when you start messing with your carbs, then that messes with a lot of other things. If you're not getting the right carbs. Um, but yeah, because carbs will, like if you're doing white Wonder bread, that will seriously spike your glycemic index and make you, not good. And for me, um, no, I was just saying I'm aware that, for the and for those that don't, I know you're aware, Nana. I got it. I wasn't preaching at you. I'm sorry. Um, but the one thing that I understood is because my blood pressure was a little high and they're going, here, let's give you some meds. And I'm going, okay, so we'll be good. And we'll go have some oatmeal. And my thing that's attached to the arm where you have the monitor and then you wear the device on your arm and then you have the monitor that you go over and it goes blip and then it gives you a reading. And all of a sudden, after eating the oatmeal, because it's like, well, for my heart, they're telling me I got to do these things. I went and had the oatmeal, and next thing I know, my little thingy was bleep. I mean, it was spiking over 200. It was insane. It was just, I mean, the alarms and everything were going off. It was mad. So oatmeal for your heart is great. Oatmeal for diabetes, not so much. So yeah, I have since then had to go, okay, no, I can't do oatmeal, which I wasn't a huge fan of it in the first place, so I'm okay with it. Oatmeal, again, not a huge fan of, but I could doctor it up and make it taste really good. Um, I, I did not ever, have not ever liked oatmeal cookies of any kind at all, no matter what you did to it. So I'm not a huge fan. I'm more like, oh, what is it you eat in the South? Grits. Just went out of my head. I'm a grits girl. Oh my god. Oh, slow, not the instant ones. I love my grits, but man. And as a kid, I loved the chocolate ones. I know that's kind of crazy, but yeah. Oh my goodness, my goodness. But yeah, I could not get enough of those. But yeah, can't eat those much anymore either. Yeah, wow, the food things that you. So basically, what I'm saying is that everything you think you know about food, you're wrong. They taught you everything wrong, and and there's so much misinformation about being diabetic, having high blood pressure, having, all these things that are going on. You have got to be your own advocate, and you have got to get on the phone with your doctors and your insurance people, and you got to beat that stick until they give you the knowledge and the time and the research and everything. Oh yeah, I know. Grandma's in the cooking, and oh yeah, those the farina, yeah. Oh, but you can't skip the sweets and the junk food. You have to find the alternatives to replace those. Because if you skip it and then your body's going gimme, 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 eventually you're going to cave out. Because and this is the thing that I have with the sugars, the fake sugars. Um, and this is what I learned a really long time ago, and I wish that I would have known before. I really wish, because everyone's like, oh, well, when you're diabetic, you got to drink diet. And I hate diet. I hate the aftertaste. I hate everything about it. And I've avoided it for a very long time. And then they go, well, you're pre-diabetic, so you need to start changing your diet. Da da da. Okay, fine. So then I switched over and was drinking the diet drinks, and then all of a sudden my system changed. And ever since then, I've never had it be able to go back. But the one thing I learned is that when you drink something that is supposed to be sweet and it doesn't have real sugar in it, or something that not diabetic, digestively, that your body treats as a sugar source, it then goes, wait a minute, you told me, because you drank something that tasted sweet. So the brain is then sending out the little soldiers. Okay, we're going to go work on this. We're going to go work on this. We're going to go work on this. And when the little soldiers are sitting there going, you told me to be here and be on duty, and I'm supposed to be, handling these things, da da da, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And then you go out, next thing you know, later on, you need a snack, and you're avoiding it, but you're hearing the taste of, let me have something sweet. I need a snack. And then by the time you get home, now you're eating down to the countertops. You can't, there was the TV show, the Biggest Loser, where they would have these people come in to be on the show to try and lose weight, and they do like the preliminary introduction. And there was this one woman who, in her explanation of her situation and what she was going through, is that she was being filmed where she's in her pantry crying and stuffing these chocolate muffins with frosting in her mouth, just, shoving them in. And that's the image in my head. And so when I say you're eating down at the countertops, you're at that point where you are just everything and it's because your brain is telling you to fill the void of what you told it was going to get. So if you need to have something sweet, instead of having the whole pie or the whole dessert or the whole of what it is, you take off the little teeny tiny and you eat the one taste. The one taste that then you go, okay, I got my treat. I got what I wanted and what I was craving for, and now I'm good. And if you kind of just condition things, then you have a better time of, yes. So, yeah. I only watched like one of that one season where that woman was doing it, and I went, oh my God, I can't do this. Because, again, there's a lot of misinformation. They were doing it for ratings. And I'm sorry to say, I'm not trying to be critical, but the knowledge and the information that you have super skinny people who have gone to school to train to do these things, and who have never been with the struggle of being overweight. And here's the fun thing that I learned like a bunch of years ago, because I had a very intense mother, and mom, who was a 40 something woman, would look at me as a 12 or 13-year-old and go, your thighs are so big. Your thighs are bigger than mine. You want to measure? I'm going to take out a tape measure. So she was body shaming me as a kid forever. And I was getting picked on by the girls at school because I was actually wearing a bra in the 3rd grade. Not the trainers, a bra, full on. I was already developing in that way. So most of my elementary school years, I had bullies at school and at home. So, and then you wonder, being an introvert, why I don't deal with people. And I still struggle dealing with people in general. I can handle 2 or 3 or 5 or 6, but when you get to where it's a crowd, I'd say, more than 20, and I'll shut down, because I just can't. So yeah, my body issues is that, and then I'm having the doctors tell me that I'm morbidly obese, and you're like going, what in the world? And I was looking up that for the most part, the average size of a woman is around 16 to 18 in pants. That's the average. But the beauty standard for all the models and everybody is wearing, a 0 or a 2. So if you have a model who is the average size at a 16 or an 18, or a number size of clothes that you are buying, because they small, medium, and large, extra large, extra, extra large, extra, extra large. So you've got extra large 1, extra large 2, extra large 3, and then your plus. Plus clothes are the average women wear is a 16 or 18. And thank you, ladies. Thank you. Yeah, and the thing was, I was skinny too, but I didn't realize I was skinny because I was being compared to someone who was an adult, and I was being body shamed, and I was being picked on by the girls. So I didn't realize I was always wearing oversized stuff to hide who I was. And then in my adulthood, there was a point, I don't remember what was getting cleaned out or why. I just know that at one point I was being given the group photo for the volleyball team that I was on when I was in junior high or high school, I forget which. But one of these photos, and I'm looking at all the girls, and it just, what dawned on me that I'm looking at is that there was a couple of girls that were really super skinny. And then there were a couple of girls that, were of a medium size. And then there was a couple of that were a little bit more on the heavier size, not fat, but they just had more of a roundness to them. And I was smaller than the medium sized one. It was like the skinny girls, me, and then the other gals that were, were heavier. As you're looking, comparing their legs to my legs, thighs in the pictures, I was like going, I wasn't fat at all. I was not heavy or overweight. And as I've gone back and other people have said that they've seen my pictures, they were like, wow, you were hottie, you were cute, I'd have dated you. But no one talked to me. I was completely I was like the ghost until I got my butt. I was told that I could be friends, but I couldn't date anyone that was not white. And there was a kid, well, I would say a fellow student. I just thought he was cute, but I was not interested in boys. I was not ready to deal with boys. I just, oh, well, yeah, he's nice looking. And I was always kind of like towards the back as much as possible, looking for the crack to hide in. I didn't know that anybody knew who the heck I was. And I came home one day and my mother was wailing on me with Yeah, I know. There was no such size as zero. But anyway, yeah, that's the marketing of the fashion industry that makes us hate ourselves and hold the system that holds to a different standard of beauty. I'll get to that in a minute. Um, but I don't know, for those of you who are of the older side of me, that you remember those Avon brushes, the blue ones that were super stiff and super hard. And oh my god, I she wailed on me for like 20 minutes. Nah, 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 nah. She was mad at me. I didn't even know what did wrong or I was in trouble for. She was just, how, dare you, and criticizing and all kinds of other stuff. And then basically what came out is that a boy came to the house and asked for me. And then after she got done being angry and walloping me with that brush, here, now go call him and find out what he wanted. Hi, yeah, okay, you came by? Yeah, I just wanted to know what the homework assignment was. Okay, A, I didn't even know that he would know to ask me. B, I didn't even know that he would know where to find me, of where I lived. This was like so bizarre because he never talked to me. I had never had a conversation with this kid, ever. I had barely had conversations with anybody. And for him to show up on my doorstep was so far out of the realm of bizarre. Like I said, no one really knew where I lived or who I was. And yet this kid shows up and then I got my butt walloped for it. Nice to see you, Nana. You take care. Thanks for coming. So yeah, the beauty industry makes us feel bad so that they could sell fashion. And the thing is that what they do in the for Fashion Week and all those what do I do? For all those shows that they put clothes together and show people off for these different designs that they hold to be top secret for months and months to create these, they're never meant to be streetwear. They're never meant for anybody to actually wear any of those fashions. They're just there for the designers to go, oh, we think we might like, and then something gets kind of sort of copied to be turned into ready to wear clothes for the next season. It's insane. It's brutal. And I used to be a part of that when I was very young. And it was nuts to the extent that I was going, not me. At 18, I went, I'm done. I'm done. So let me see what we can finish with. I wanted to do this one. Most people are not. For me, it was a weird accident because I was very young and my mother wanted to go get a photo of me and went to the studio that was inside the department store where my dad worked. And it was a well-known for the area, but they've been out of business for a very long time. And they weren't national, so not a whole lot of people even would know anything about them. But they started off as a jewelry store. My dad started working for them, and then they moved and became bigger and bought other companies, and then they became a department store. And there was all these other things that then started, showing up inside that store. So in the process of things, oh, thank you, Martha. I know the images on this plate is just, I you don't really have to do much to have things work out and be gorgeous with this plate. This is just a highly recommended, awesome plate. So she went and when the pictures were due to be picked up, she went to go get them, and the owner, photographer, whatever the deal was, He wanted to use them as a display. He wanted permission to be able to put my picture on his wall. And it was a big deal because, like I said, my dad worked at the company, so they had to get all these permissions and a bunch of stuff. And because I got put on that wall, they moved me into, at a very young age, into these charm classes and other things that was, so basically, like I said, when I've been, saying that I've been doing my nails for the better part of 50 years, I'm not kidding. I was just young enough to walk and talk, and they were putting me in all these things where I was getting the training. So I went to things like in the evenings, there were classes that I was being taken to where I could be at this training place, and I would be walking around with books on my head. It's the whole things of like, My Fair Lady. I mean, I was groomed how to be in fashion. And then I would do the fashion shows on the weekends. I would go to the different department stores and they'd have things set up and they'd have clothes for me, and you're up on stage. And then I would go to these other things where it would be how to walk and talk and which fork to use, and just the whole 9 yards. I'm not kidding about the My Fair Lady stuff. I kind of did, and I kind of enjoyed them, as the learning process, because I'm a sponge. I love to learn things, and it did teach me how to be a proper lady. And so, of course, my great grandmother, who was a posh English lady, was all for it. She was super happy, and I could go have, depending on the time or the day, I could go have high or low tea, and there's a difference between the two. And I really enjoyed that, and I love, oh my God, I am a tea drinker. I will drink coffee. I like my coffee, but I'm like more of a dessert coffee where you've got all the extra things and the whipped creams and the flavors in them to offset the flavor of the coffee. But tea, I will do it 3 ways to Sunday. Seriously. So I inherited my English Scottish ancestry from both sides of the family, along with the red hair. And but I did enjoy them because then it gave me times when I got to go visit my great grandmother. It was a more enjoyable evening with her or afternoon with her, because I could relate on her sensibilities of things than just being a ruly child. I did enjoy them for the information that they gave me in how to be a person, because that helped me later in life when I figured out, hey, I could be my own person, because I was pretty much told, you don't matter, you're just here to take care of us. By my mom was, she was a very hard, and yes, I say that not the American way, because her whole thing was, you will call me mom. I want to be mom, because again, it was that whole aristocratic Englishness from her father's mother's side. And then the other side I got from my grandmother was, be who you want to be. But my mother was harsh, and the tapes of her, I still have things where I'll do something and I'll be like, you're such an idiot. And then I go, no, I'm not. That's just the crap that was just the naughty things she would say. And yes, Maniology, where was it? Somebody said, yes, Martha, thank you for reminding me. Today they are doing a 50% off polishes and plates. So today is the 3rd of, is it the 3rd of April? Am I looking at, yeah, today is the 3rd of April. They're having a special. Go check out those specials. Go sign up for their email list. Stock daily, as in not STOCK, stock up, but STAULK, stalker. Go stalk the website. If you download their app and enable notifications, anytime something happens, they'll let you know. But thank you for reminding me. Yeah, my mother worked in a place where she got paid really well. My dad did not, and he had a second job. So he was able to squirrel away hundreds of thousands of dollars, and my mother blew it all her money. It was just the opposite ends of things. I had a very bizarre childhood, not just a bad childhood. It was bizarre because I was also married off at 16, and that was just because she wanted to divorce my dad. There was no religious thing, there was no cultural thing. It was just she wanted to divorce my dad, and it was kind of the things that the attorneys were telling her that she needed to do, and my mother took it to the extreme nature of things. And so, yeah, there you go. Oh, Martha, crazy doesn't cover it. Cray cray. She, because back then they didn't have a lot of these diagnoses. I truly think she, because I have done a lot of research and study, and thank God for therapy and counseling and self help, because there you go. But my mother she ticks off all the books for the DSM, the department manual that says this is what a mental illness is. She ticks off everything for not only being a malignant narcissist, but I think she was also a covert malignant narcissist. In addition to, she could have had some bipolar issues and what's the other one? A personality. There's more to it, but basically it's the personality disorder. She had a lot of stuff, and off the hook. I'm telling you. Oh, thank you, Martha. I appreciate that. But yeah, she turned me into the nutcase that I am, and I'm well rounded, in the sense that I got enough help. I got to the point where I went limited no contact. I learned how to deal with my mother, but at the same time, I was the prime candidate for a lot of people that were other types of abusive people, and I didn't figure out how to not be involved in that until I hit 40 something. So I spent a lot of years trying to figure out and doing a lot of things that went across a lot of boundaries that I shouldn't have, which is why I say be the best human you can possibly be, and do not let those who wish to turn you into the misery loves company, because that's what I grew up in. That's the way of the things, is that you learn to complain, but then you learn who not to complain to, and oh yeah. Yeah, and those abuses. Yes, I did. I did get help. I at one point, I don't know how or why. Like I said earlier, I have many guardian angels, I think, that helped protected me. And there was one day that I don't know what caused me to do this, but I was in a really bad situation. Um, and it was kind of like I had to you how do I put this? There was the movie that Julia Roberts did that was called Sleeping with the Enemy, and I kind of had to go like that. And I had to work to figure out, because of the situation that I was in, I just couldn't leave. And um because of where I was living, and everything was intertwined. So I just couldn't, long story short, I just couldn't leave at that point. So I kind of had to figure out a way to not not have bad things happen. And then at one point he did try to, we're going to say the word, end me, and that kind of changed a bunch of things in the sense of, how do I get out of this faster? And then, I don't know, things just started lining up, and then I did. And then OJ goes on trial, and my life changed dramatically, and I was actually able to leave. And I only felt safe enough to leave at that point because prior to that, he said if I did, he would find me. He would hunt me down. He would not let me willingly leave. So, um, and in the process of actually filing for divorce, um, I picked up the phone, and with our healthcare, I booked an appointment for therapy, and I got with a really good counselor who was working with me and kept insisting, please, I have this program, I want you to come, it's for couples, I really would, need you to kind of participate, I think this will help you. And I asked and I asked and I asked, and he said no. And this was prior to us moving. And then at one point, she said to me, well, we're going to be doing another one of the sessions, but this is my program that I created, and I have been training people for the last few years. And this is the last one that I'm going to be leading because I'm going to be retiring from this. So if there's any way, I would absolutely love, from the teaching of the program she created, I would absolutely love for you to. So I went and said, okay, can we just do this one as a favor to me because she's retiring? Can you just go this one time and I'll never ask again? And so then after we went to that, and her observing things, it was like a couple of sessions later, and we did the techniques that she was teaching about. Then I had a couple of incidences in my life that I went, oh, this is what I needed to know. And those incidences kind of went, you do this and you get no appreciation at home. There's no love, support, or kindness. And then you do this in the rest of the world and the people love you. And it was kind of like the scales are out of balance. So I kind of went, I'm done. And I'm going to figure out how to get myself out of this. So when I said that to her in my next session, she was like, good, I'm glad, because what I saw in that thing is you shouldn't be in that relationship. But I couldn't tell you that. You had to come to it on your own. So then I started working out, because like I said, I'd already done the sleeping with the enemy kind of situation and figured out how I could safely get out. It didn't prevent a lot of things. He still stalked me. He still attacked me a couple of times. He still did a bunch of things. It was just the insanity for the next 15 years till our child turned 18 and he had no more leverage. And at this point, long story short, but yeah. Well, Martha, I'm sorry that, and Martha, that's not even the tip of the iceberg. I've left out a lot. I've had a lot of people go, you should write a book. No one wants to hear about my life. It's sad and depressing. No one wants to read about the stuff that I've gone through. It's not a happy life. And I work very hard on a daily basis. I watch comedies. I don't do drama. I don't do horror because I lived enough of that. I don't need to be scared. I don't like being scared. And I was watching a thing that said if you are a trauma or a narcissist abusive survivor, and it talks about you're startled easily. Oh my God, people walk near me. It's like I would be in the grocery store and, trying to decide on something to buy, looking at something on one of the aisles, and they go, oh, excuse me, I need to, and I'm like flipping there. Sorry, so sorry. It's like, no, it's okay. I have such a short fuse on, yeah. And then you wonder why I talk about, I got anxiety, in my videos, I say, I got it. Oh, the anxiety and the, yeah. And I'm an introvert. I don't like going places. There's a reason. Yeah. But Martha, you can still get help. There's still a lot of places that can help you. I'm telling you, I could have bought a house with the amount of money I've spent on therapy and training and books and tapes and CDs and then when you include the fact that I went to, because we were in a situation that me being able to work from home, I thought that I could do life coaching. And then I figured out, no, I'm really good at it, but the part I don't like is you have to do this amazing amount of marketing and sell yourself, and you are spending more time trying to convince people that they need the help, and then finding people who are willing to pay for it, people who are able to pay for it, and then you have to just to be able to get to people to do the sessions. I mean, when I was in the training, my husband had said something to one of the gals that was at the local Starbucks that we frequented, that because we were regulars in there, and somebody said something about, oh, well, where is she? And he's like, oh, well, she's in training, da da da. Oh, that sounds like something, you know. And there was one of the gals at that restaurant that for a year and a half that we lived in that area since I started my training. Oh yeah, I need to get with your wife. A year and a half that every time she saw my husband, oh yeah, I need to call. Woman never called. She knew she needed to do the process. And I wasn't even going to charge her because it was just part of me being in the training process. All she had to do is show up and get the free help. Free offers of me doing things to, and he's got coworkers that he's talked to. And so this person, you know, and I have offered, and I've only had a few people who have actually taken me up on it. Yeah. Well, I never liked to go to the mall as a kid. That was the thing that you did. I don't like being around huge crowds. And so there's just this huge anxiety, and it has to do with my safety. And then you have all the abuses of people that have been physically abusive to me in various ways. And then you throw in the fact that now that I'm old and it's hard to maneuver and to do things and to be around people, and I'm very skittish on a lot of things. Yeah, I'm telling you the real of things. I don't do well. It's just easier to be at home. And then by the time I go through the process of getting dressed, taking a shower, which I have to do in segments because it even though I do have the handrails, but I don't have the chair anymore. I used to have a shower chair, which I need to get a better one because the one I had I didn't like. But still, so I'm on the hunt to figure out how to. So basically, trying to be in the shower. I've fallen in the shower. It's not a good thing. Trying to go through that whole process. I mean, I used to be able. I could get in the shower, do my hair, do my makeup, and be out the door in 15 minutes. I kid you not. I was like lickety split. Man, I could do it uh, on a daily basis. And when you have kids and you're a single mom and you've got to take the bus, or you've got whatever things that are going on in a million different ways. Oh yeah, I had a boatload of stuff because at one time uh, I was also working full time, going to school full time, um, and then, you know, had the family life. So my every waking moment was rush, rush, rush. Now, um, it's like it takes me 2 hours to get dressed, and then I feel like I need a nap after I get dressed. So it's just, yeah, way too much. Oh, goody, the screamers are out. I don't know what is the issue. I don't know if they're playing around or if they're in serious need of help, but people like to scream a lot when they don't need to. It's like, kind of like that thing, you know, you shouldn't yell certain words in certain places because it's dangerous. Yeah, people don't care anymore. Oh, they're playing around. So that's what I ended up doing. Again, I still don't like it. I'm going to keep playing with it because I don't have my little tools to. I wanted to do the reverse stamping on this, but yeah, this plate is no. Yeah, you you said you were your mother's maid and the oldest of six siblings, and yeah, that's way more than I had to deal with. But my mother would she would holler at me, and it was the same distance from where I was to where she was, and she'd say, "Go get me. I want, bring me, da da da." And she would screech at me and holler through the house, and I really hate that. So I would have to get up and go do that, and she would use the term, "You're my maid, go get it." Um, and so in the process of things, then then at one point I had a momentary where's my smudge free. Then at one point I had a momentary mental, let me see, try and stand up for myself. Didn't go well. Um, where I said, I'm not your maid because I don't get an allowance. You don't pay me. So you can't call me your maid because I'm not your maid. And then she said, "You're right. You're my slave." So then from that point on, for the next 3 years, it was, "Oh, slave, come in here." And yeah. And my dad, he was the nicer of the two, but he would even have his moments that if he came in and from work and was looking at the dirty clothes situation and he didn't have clean pants to wear the next day, he's getting angry and barking at different things and would make comments about needing a load of clothes to get done. And so yeah, doing the laundry was my responsibility. Doing the dishes was my responsibility. If I didn't have um, a load of dishes in the dishwasher being washed and cleaned up, and going by the time she got home from work, and I had to have a load of clothes in the washer ready to go. It's all in there, and the settings are on with the powder soap all sprinkled in there. That then, as soon as the dishwasher was done, um, you pull out the knob, and then the rest of the night I had to do laundry and dishes, and then at one point I was the one cooking too. Yes, this is what maniology does for me. This is why I say, the whole community of things is something that I do and need, and it's part of the self care. It helps me makes me feel better. Uh it it's the whole issues of things that um how do I put this? It's better than the medications, and I don't like the medications because the medications lead to more medications, and then it doesn't always solve the things. And then the problem is that with the medications they give you, then you end up having to take more medications because those medications have side effects. So then you have to take another medication which causes more, and then you're just in this thing where next thing you know, you have a laundry sack, not laundry, a lunch sack. And I've been in that situation. I literally had a lunch sack full of the paper bag full of medications. I could start my own pharmacy of stuff that they had me on, and it was like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Yep, yep, yep. But yeah, so for me, it was when I found out about the life coaching. It was kind of like, let me go take this training. I could have bought a car. I could have bought a really nice car. I'm talking mid level, and this was 20 some odd years ago. I could have bought almost 20 years ago. But I could have bought back then a very luxury mid range vehicle to drive for the amount of money I spent. And yet I spent all this money just to be well. Um, and I am well compared to what I used to be. Well, very much well. And like I said, I like doing the coaching. I like being able to help people. I like the stuff that happens, but at the same time, all the work that goes into it to be able to create it, all the struggles to convince people to, I can help you. And the thing is that somebody that knew my husband reached out on Facebook, that it was a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, knew of this young man who had pretty much announced that he didn't want to be here anymore, and remembered that my husband had said this is what I was doing, and got me in touch with him. And he was in another country that he could barely speak English, and through Messenger, I helped this kid see the error of doing that, and giving him the confidence to be able to find his dream job. And I got, probably 2 or 3 years after the fact, a message from him that he had been able to come to the United States and get his dream job working for the company he wanted to work at. And a bunch of people that I also counseled on finding their spouse. And one didn't completely follow the instructions, but did find someone and got married. And I got to attend the wedding because they flew to Vegas, and it was like a wonderful thing to be able to do. But they had problems, and it didn't go well. The other person that followed my instructions and actually did do what I gave them the assignments to do, found their person, and they're still married, and they've been married now for over 15 years. So I've done some wonderful things with people that actually really want to get the help, but it's the what's not for me is those who don't follow the instructions, who don't really want to get the help. They're so stuck in their trauma, they can't get past it. And I need more work. I'm not completely whole. I'm not saying that I'm cured, because sometimes you can't, but I'm way better than I used to be. Way better. Yeah, what I was doing that though, either the college and the studies and the cleaning and the working, I was doing that as a wife and not getting any credit for anything. So it finally, that was also one of the catalysts to why, Martha, I am sorry that you have that going on. I know I kind of feel the same way, and I go, you know what? I- I'm gonna live to 150, and I'm gonna make it so. And I don't care about whether or not the doctors say I'm gonna not be here. I'm gonna live. I'm convinced I'm gonna live because I want to. Martha, I have tried to help a lot of people. I really, that is my goal. Honestly and truly, um, it is within my heart the biggest thing, because I heard it say, be who you wish you would have had when you needed it. So I am, ultimately, I want to be the person that people need to help them be better. I want to help them to be their better self, to better themselves, but I can't do it for them. And the problem is there's far too many people out there that they want others to do it for them, and that's never going to be successful. Aw, I try to be nurturing. I hope, I'm glad you see that. I'm glad you noticed that, because I really do. I care about people in such a big way. It hurts. It hurts. I mean, my heart aches when I see bad things. It just really hurts physically. So, I hope to do good things for people, and for other people to see the goodness that can exist. And right now there's very little of the goodness going on. So it is my goal. I'm gonna try not to cry. It is my goal to help raise awareness of goodness and kindness, and doing the right thing for the right reasons, because not because you're going to get a reward for it. please do not have those medical conditions. I know you have those, but you got to believe I'm going to be okay every morning. Hear my voice ringing in. Do I have to make a playlist for you? Every morning, you're going to hear me say, I'm going to be okay. I am okay. I will. Wouldn't it be nice if this was okay and all this went away? That's what you need to say every day. Wouldn't it be nice if all of this went away and I was okay? Wouldn't it be nice if I was okay and all this went away? Because you're going to be. I have faith. I believe in you. If you say that every time you feel the panic, because that was one of the things I learned in my coaching, is that we were going through some struggles, mostly financially and other logistics of things, and it was just snowballing. And every single moment that I started to feel the fear of, oh my, this is not okay, I'd be like, I'm gonna be okay. Everything's okay. Everything's gonna work out. I'm okay. It's all right. Wouldn't it be nice? And within 6 months, everything did. It changed for the better. So you have got to replace the fear and the panic of all the things that you think are wrong in your life, and just focus on, hey, it's good. Wouldn't it be nice? Because then you don't have to not believe the statement. If you're saying a mantra or a statement that things you want to be true, but they're not true, so your brain is in a disconnect, then you say, wouldn't it be nice? And that takes you out of the realm of, hey, that's not true. But it puts you in a phase of, you can relax and feel the feeling of, wouldn't it be nice? Well, yeah, it would be nice. I feel so much better. Test yourself out with that. Sit there for a few minutes. You know what? I'll do a video on this later. I'll do one. But you test yourself out and you see how you feel, and you find you will feel better with the wouldn't it be nice. And then you just sit there with that emotion for as long as you milk it, for as long as you can. And then you feel better. And the next time you feel the panic, and you just keep doing that until it changes. All right, I'm still. Yep, you're still here. I'm still here, and wouldn't it be nice? I'm still here. And it was people that will tell me, I'm having days where I can barely move. And they'll be like, how you doing? I was like, you know what? I'm above ground. Because every day above ground is a good day. There you go. I'm still above ground. So there you are. I'm going to live till 150. And I just started saying it as out of a joke, and then it became a habit, and now I'm like, I'm on board. I'm going to be here till I'm 150. So I got, 90 some odd years to give or take. I can't do the math, but you're welcome, Martha. You're welcome, welcome, welcome. I have designs to do a whole thing for you on my other channel, but I was thinking maybe I was just going to do them. I got a couple of projects I need to set an afternoon aside and film all the segments for the things, but life just keeps getting a little chaotic, and there you go. But I'm sorry to say, we are going on 6 o'clock. I've been here 2 hours. I did not intend to do 2 hours again, but apparently I end up doing that because, I can be a chatty Cathy. And, if you get me going and you ask me on things, I'll be talking about whatever it is that you're talking about, whether, nails or not. So, there you go. So again, I asked this before, and I'm going to run out of time because I got the notice my phone's going to die. So the choice of me doing video lengths, 10 minutes or less, 15 minutes or less, 15 to 30 minutes or less, 30 to 45 minutes or less, all of the above, or none of these, and give me, leave in the comments. Leave the things that you think that you want to do. Leave in the comments the ideas of things, because like I was discussing earlier, I got 4 plates. I did, multiple videos on 4 different plates. And the one that I did not think was going to be the most popular, the ballroom, ball dancing, midnight, whatever, was the most popular views. Whereas the one that I thought would be the dragon one would be the most popular, not. But there you go. Lightning was like last. The stars got more interactions and attentions than, some of the, I'm just blows my mind. So this is why I say, tell me what you want to see, what you know, so I can have all the ingredients necessary to be able to do those things. Oh, thank you. They're plain. I need to redo my mani. I didn't do anything since Tuesday, so I need to take everything off. I took it off and just did a clear coat for today, but I've got some things I need to go back and finish. So later on, I'll go finish that up. But thank you. I broke this one and then I've broken it 3 times, so it doesn't seem like it's growing. It grows out and then it breaks, and then I've had other things issues with it. So it is growing. It's just doing it slowly because stuff keeps happening. But there you go. So eventually we'll have them all be the same length. I know the star plate was gorgeous. I absolutely loved it. Like, yeah, it was Dancing with the Midnight or something. It was like a couple of weeks ago. But it's kind of funny. It's like the Cinderella dancing. It's got the castle and, all the elements of the Disney stuff, but non-Disney related. So it's kind of cute. But surprised me. It was the first one that I did of the 4 that I had. And, it's still sitting at the #1 video of those 4. Blows my mind. But see, you're right-handed. You had the same problem, but this is my dominant hand by like a smidge. Because, yeah, I've been tested. I've been tested for so many things. The things I've been tested for, it's insane. The results of those tests blows your mind. But yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. But and if you would, I asked this earlier, I don't think you were here, but if you can let me know when this video is public, because I'm going to go do all the things I do, but the last one I did took hours and hours, and it took a couple of days before on my settings that it showed that it was there. So just let me know if you can go in there and go, hey, it's, 10 o'clock and, or whatever your time is in, wherever you're at. Let me know where you're at, the time zone, and the time that it was available, and you notice. I would greatly appreciate that. But yeah, I just input on content, because the thing is, like I said, I thought the dragon and the lightning plate would have been the most interested one that people would be watching, and for whatever reason, it's not. So I'm asking for what you want, because otherwise I'm just kind of winging it and aiming it, and I'm just spinning my wheels, and I don't want to do that. You're in, okay. So East Coast. Okay, so when you see it, it'll be East Coast numbers. Okay, so I got that. But anyway, I'm gonna end for now. I'll be back because there's some settings I need to work on figuring out to adjust some things. So I'm gonna be going live like as much as I possibly can. So it might be daily. It just depends on how I feel and what things I gotta do. And most days, if the puppy's been quiet, but she was barking earlier and doing her mess of things. But whatchamacallit, and that was because people were outside. They're quiet. Nobody's doing anything, so she's settled down. When Hubster comes home, she's not quiet at all about anything, ever. So around the schedule of the puppy, princess, pampered, Cujo, diva. She's a diva. She's a demanding diva. Around her schedule and Hubster's schedule and everything else that we've got going on, I will be going live just to go test out settings. So thank you for showing up. I appreciate you very much. Love you all. Please do not let those who are in the Misery Loves Company Club recruit you, because they are always recruiting. I know everyone is doing their best to be the best human possible, because, life is cuckoo right now. So,